Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, want to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. And Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this lesson is going to be based on Minnesota's raging Camp House fire that has exploded to nearly 12,000 acres. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. It says 3 major wildfires raging out of control in the same Minnesota county have burned more than 20,000 acres combined, destroying dozens of structures, triggering evacuations, and prompting the governor to call in the state National Guard to help battle the flames. The largest fire in St. Louis County, the Camp House fire, exploded overnight to nearly 12,000 acres and was 0% contained on Tuesday afternoon. The responders are doing everything they can, working long hours under extremely tough conditions, Ryan Williams of the Minnesota Incident Command System said at a news conference. The Camp House fire, which started on Sunday in the Superior National Forest near Brimson, about 35 miles north of county seat Duluth, grew overnight from roughly 1,200 acres to 11,788 acres by Tuesday afternoon. He said that up to 150 structures, including seasonal cabins, remain under mandatory evacuation orders. St. Louis County Sheriff Gordon Ramsay said in a video statement that more than 40 structures, including homes and cabins, have been destroyed by the Camp House fire. Fueled by wind gusts, relative low humidity, warm temperatures, dry underbrush, and a buildup of dead trees killed by an insect infestation, the Camp House fire has quickly spread through the area, according to officials. So when the fire torches through tree canopies, it throws embers into the air like confetti. It says 2 other wildfires burning in St. Louis County were the Jenkins Creek fire, which started on Monday afternoon and has spread to 6,800 acres as of Tuesday afternoon, and the Mungersaw fire, which also started Monday afternoon and had grown to 1,400 acres as of Tuesday afternoon, according to the MNICS. It says both fires were also 0% contained. No injuries have been reported from any of the fires. Yeah, so, hey, this is the judgments of the Lord with these fires. And even though nobody has gotten injured, there has been a lot of destruction as a result. Isaiah 29:6, Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. And the Lord is turning up with these flames of fire. These brush fires, forest fires, wildfires, all these different destructive and oftentimes deadly fires. Psalms 9:16, the Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hand, Higgaion Selah. And these fires and all the destruction and in some cases death that's caused as a result of these fires is the judgment of the Heavenly Father. Because like it says in Psalm 7:11, Yahweh judgeth the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. And these fires are just some of the Lord's judgment. Same with all the storms and tempests and the earthquakes and the shootings and stabbings and the car crashes and the animal attacks and the planes and helicopters that are crashing and the power outages. All of these different events are judgments from the Lord. and they are also a sign of the times. Luke 21:22, for these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. And we are clearly living in those days of the Lord's vengeance. That's why there's so much destruction and death and chaos upon the earth, and it's only getting worse by the day. Because this is the vengeance of the Lord. This is his anger and his punishment upon the wicked people that dwell in this world. Second Timothy 3:1, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And when you look up the definition of perilous, it means full of danger or risk. And with all these fires, all these tornadoes, the hurricanes that we know are coming, the torrential rains, the flooding, the power outages, the earthquakes, the violence, the shootings, the stabbings, the wars, the famines, the diseases, just a multitude of things that are taking place on the earth and are just going to get worse and worse. All of these are signs of the times, signs that we are in perilous and dangerous and hazardous and unsafe times, and that we are in the last days. And a lot of people are way too carnal and they don't understand that. A lot of people don't understand that we are in the last days. A lot of people think, oh, the world is just experiencing some kind of rough patch and things are going to balance out. And it's like, no, things are only going to get increasingly worse because the Lord is angry. And these judgments are his anger being physically manifested, just in different forms. And there's going to be a whole lot more destruction, a whole lot more death, a whole lot more chaos and misery and mourning and weeping and sadness that's going to take place in these last days. And a lot of people are going to get caught off guard because they're not paying attention. They're so caught up in wickedness and folly, they have no idea what's happening or what's about to happen. Like it says in Proverbs 22:3, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Majority of these people out here, they're simple, and they're going to get punished. They're going to get caught up in these judgments, and they're going to die. And that's just the will of the Heavenly Father. Because like it says in Deuteronomy 32:39, see now that I, even I am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal, neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So the Heavenly Father determines who gets wounded and who gets killed. And he determines how it happens and when it happens and why it happens. And there's nothing anybody can do to stop these judgments from happening. And because, like it says in Romans 2:11, there is no respect of persons with the Most High, men, women, and children get put to death out here, get wounded out here. Pregnant women, newborn babies, elderly people, it doesn't matter. If the Lord deems you to be wicked, you're going to get judged. And how severe that judgment is completely dependent on the Lord and what he decides he wants to do. But best believe, a lot of people are about to suffer greatly in these last days. The wicked of our people, these 2/3, these heathen nations, and primarily, Esau, these so-called self-proclaimed white people, because they are the chief wicked. They are the ones whom the Lord hates. Like it says in the scriptures, Jacob have I loved and Esau have I hated. The Lord hates these so-called white people. And look at everything that these white people have been doing throughout history. All the rape, robbery, murder, colonizing, land theft, all the horrific crimes against humanity that they have committed. It makes perfect sense why the Lord has such a hatred for them and why they're the only nation that's irredeemable. they're not gonna be saved. They're gonna get destroyed on this side. Then in the kingdom, they're gonna serve 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, and then the Lord is gonna gather all of these Edomites, these so-called self-proclaimed white people. He's gonna gather all of them up, and by the hand of his people Israel, he's gonna erase these Edomites right off the face of the earth. Because once the kingdom of heaven is established, there's not going to be any need for these wicked people. The Lord created these Edomites to be the wicked, and they're definitely fulfilling that. Once the kingdom of heaven is established and righteousness is established on the earth, what do you need the wicked for? There won't be a need for them anymore. They're going to be used, to build up the kingdom and serve out their 1,000 years of slavery, and then they're gonna get wiped off the face of the earth, and the world will be a much better place for it. And those days are upon us. That's why everything is getting more intense. See, those of us of the Hopeful Elect, we just gotta stay locked into this truth, stay prayed up, stay circumspect, continue to watch, continue to read, because things are about to get very chaotic and unstable out here. And our only hope is that the Lord is dealing with us, and he's going to guide us through these times, and we have to have faith that he is dealing with us and that he will guide us. But with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakudash, the Wadi Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, for putting his spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up, and Adawan Ratazah. Until next time, shalom.